Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm gonna be giving you part 4 of What If Naruto Was a Half Uchiha with a godlike Yin-Yang ability. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, I do have 4 channels if you're new. Anime King 2, Anime King 3, and Anime Prince. So go ahead, check them out, and yeah, enjoy. All links will be down in the description. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification if you're new. And comment down below as well so I can welcome you personally, guys. So without further ado or wasting any more time, what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode? Begin now, guys. So the last part we left off, he told me introduce both Naruto and Hinata to one another. As Izumi was there, she saw that Hinata was a lot more shy than Naruto. Like a real lot. She didn't have much interactions with others, so yeah, she was a lot more shy. However, Naruto and her quickly became friends. Their attitude really seemed to blend together well. As he told me I had to go back home, but Hinata tagged along with them as she went to the park with them. They started to play with the ball that Izumi bought. As Itachi came by and sat down, him and Izumi started to talk. As they spoke about Sasuke and the whole heart swap situation, Itachi apologized for what happened. As he seemed to be in deep thought about the whole thing, about the actions his father took, everything. He seemed to be quite upset about it despite being glad that his brother was okay. That is when a few bullies decided to get involved at the ball, hit one of them. The guy was bullying Hinata when Naruto stepped in. Naruto's reaction was to attack immediately as the guy tried to bully him. His hand lashed out as the bully moved towards him. Itachi and Izumi saw what happened. Naruto's body was able to fluctuate his chakra in such a way where the patterns were perfect. The amount of force that Naruto empowered his fist would have gone right through the bully. However, it was a good thing that Hinata's uncle appeared and grabbed Naruto's hand. Itachi noticed something though. His hand was broken. A few bones in his hands was broken by that, showing how much power Naruto had behind the punch. As Itachi was shocked, the kid was truly something. We then had a time skip. As a few years has passed as Naruto was in a cave, his Fuinjutsu cave, as Naruto was able to create his own bloodline, a bloodline that was never seen in this world before. His bloodline had to do with sugar, as Naruto was able to manipulate it like the Hokage of the Sun, manipulate his iron sun. As Naruto had all kinds of abilities that he had worked on and created over the past couple of years. Not to mention he was able to permanently place the Fuinjutsu markings into his skin, something that was rather dangerous the last time. Izumi was rather upset that he almost got himself hurt. Naruto has been hiding his skills though. After gaining the knowledge from the Sage of Six Paths, Naruto wanted to try to find a way to prevent what was going to happen. However, tonight he had to go to a birthday party, which was Hinata. Him and Hinata had become greater friends over the years. Arriving towards said birthday party, Naruto had saved Hinata's mother's life. After her giving birth to Hanabi, something was wrong with her. It turns out that there was someone out to get her because she had been deliberately poisoned by chakra metal. However, Naruto was able to use Fuinjutsu to save her life. As the clan was ever grateful to him, while Hayashi was more so, as Hinata was beyond happy thanking Naruto for saving her mother. So they had become great friends, despite still being a bit shy towards people that he did not know. Both Naruto and Hinata became a bit more open as they attended the birthday party. That is when, he told me, came across the woman that was forced to be with, well, the fourth Hokage, taking away the relationship that Kushina would have had. But she might have judged the woman wrongly. Her daughter was Sakura Namikaze, the daughter of the fourth Hokage, as Sakura was also interested in Fuinjutsu, as both her and Naruto were introduced to one another, so they had to ask Ojo for her to begin lessons in Fuinjutsu as well. Some time passed after that, as Naruto was going to sleep at the moment, but his mind was on other things. Beisho had turned to several other drug and dealings that would be frowned upon by any other people, because of him being revoked, his license being taken away as a shinobi, but still working for the Uchihas. Not to mention, the Uchihas had even become more darker, as they start to do things that would be village security safety, as Naruto had been unable to save Shizui's life. Upset about that, Naruto feel like he was not doing anything to stop the Uchihas from their demise. However, he was gonna go after Beisho tonight and stop him from what he was gonna do, as Beisho was involved with something big and Naruto was here to stop him, using his new bloodline as he would try to convince Beisho to do otherwise, unaware that tonight was gonna be a really bloody night. So yeah guys, basically that's where we left off. You guys can switch across the playcheck of yourself. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode again? Now guys, we begin this new episode at the Smoke Harbor, 1 o'clock in the morning. Beisho was watching with a bored look on his face as the man loaded the shipment. Some he knew were employed and others were forced. They all smelled like garbage though, and they needed a bath. Only about a tenth of the cargo need to be loaded now, and things were going smoothly. It was almost over. There had been a delay with the port master, but the Uchiha officer took care of it. The greedy old fool wanted more money upon seeing the size of the shipment. However, his fate was now sealed, seeing that he was at the bottom of the sea floor. He had been alive when he was tied down and thrown down there, but there was no way that he was still down there now, alive. There was no oxygen. Sir, one of the lackeys said, looking towards Beisho, fear in his eyes. It was not every day that you watch a shinobi through. A man wrapped up in thick chains, in the sea. Some of the shipment escaped. Show me, was all Beisho said. He was not in the mood for this. Meanwhile, a crew landed on top of the warehouse, overlooking the harbor. A hole appeared beside the crew as a young redhead boy walked out, dressed in the same outfit his sister had bought him. Naruto figured that looking like Izumi, seeing that she had bought matching outfit for them. Different sizes and shapes, but same color, would sway Beisho. He looked around the docks as he saw several dirty men working to load several containers on the ships. He was curious about the area because he has never seen it on a map before. The small port was only two large warehouses built right in front of the dock. There was a small town that had about 20 small houses. Naruto himself was on top of the first warehouse as he looked down towards the dock. As he went towards the back and looked down, a man was smoking a pipe and reading a paper under the outside light. As Naruto opened a wormhole behind him and pulled the guy through with his left arm. Naruto was aware of his strength, so he made sure not to hurt the man more than he had to, as he placed him in a paralysis genjutsu, so he could not talk or move. He channeled chakra through another seal on his arm as he watched. The man's eyes became vacant. "Well, what is this place? I've never seen it on a map," said Naruto. Because of Naruto's contact with the seal, the man could not resist. His voice became monotone and blank. "This is Smoke Harbor, a hidden dock supported by the Leaf Village and the Hokage. It does not appear on a map because the Hokage deem it so. A genjutsu barrier seal keep anyone from seeing it at a distance, so passerby ships does not see or hear it. It is home to a few civilian workers that run it for a monthly check and free boarding. Families are not permitted because of the need for secrecy." As Naruto glanced around, if the Hokage knew about this place, then what was his brother doing here shipping illegal stuff? He turned to the mindless man as he asked him about Beisho. "Some smugglers and gangsters use this place off the book. The former harbor master would take a cut of whatever is shipped." As he kept silent for it, right now, a shipment of drugs, money, stolen jewels and slaves are being shipped out. The civilians are paid to help, but the pirates also have workers. Naruto heard a small child crying and another girl pleading with someone, asking to be let go. As Naruto sent a pulse of chocolate to the man brain, knocking him out as he crawled down the roof to investigate. As Naruto saw a brown-haired girl, she looked to be around 15 years old, holding another young girl that looked to be around 7 in her arms. Please, let us go. We are all our grandfather has left. He's sick, and he needs us, please. A large man with a large stomach walked up and slapped her across the face. You will shut up and get back in the cargo hold if you know what is good for you. You and that little runt in your arms is worth a lot of money in the Nagi Islands. What is all this now? Naruto turned as he saw another man approaching. As he was dressed in fancy clothing, he walked up towards the two girls and the goon. Nothing, Captain. Just two slaves trying to escape, the goon said, nervously. The captain checked them over as he noticed a bruise on the elder girl's face. Look at this, Suki, he said, in a disappointed tone. You ruined the merchandise. His hand shot up and slammed a dagger right through the thug's throat. The girl watched as the man that slapped her fell over dead. The captain then turned towards her and the younger one. There will be no more escape attempts, and you will be what we will use to make sure of that. He dragged the girls along, as there were some rusty chains on the dock, which he used to wrap it around them. Naruto saw as Beisho was standing there impassively. The girls were crying as the man pushed them in the water, the chains, pulling them down. Naruto watched as he hoped that Beisho would do something, but Beisho did not. Luckily, Naruto had tags on Beisho that allowed him to open his rift in the radius, and Beisho was near the girls, so Naruto opened a wormhole under the water. As he opened one next to him, the pressure washed out a lot of water as it came down, washing out the girls as well as they fell on the roof. The captain overheard the noise. What's that? The corrupt Uchiha looked around, but he saw no one as the captain looked towards him. As Beisho shook his head, the captain made his way towards the ship. Once the captain was on the ship, Beisho jumped up towards the roof. As he saw the water, the air was thick of salt as well. What had happened here, he thought to himself, as he sensed something on the other side of the roof. Jumping over, he saw a worker, unconscious because of genjutsu. Damn it, someone was here. What did they see, he thought to himself. Time skip. Just outside of the Hidden Leaf village, Naruto checked over the girls to make sure there was no injuries. Both girls were panting while holding each other. The older turned to thank her savior, but no one was there. The boy, he had left. A distance away in a clearing, Naruto was glancing up towards the heavens. He never thought his brother was this bad. He somewhat understand doing illegal activities to support the clan. He did not agree with it to let innocent people suffer. To allow children to die though, to make a point, that was just pure evil. If he was pushing drugs or some other material, something to sell money, but people, using innocent people as slaves, it angered Naruto as his fist clenched tightly. He thought about Izumi, his innocent older sister. She would be judged by the village for the clan. She would be judged for them. He thought about Sakura, Hinata, Hanabi, Choji, Kiba, Shikamaru, and everyone that might end up dead because of the Uchiha. He thought about the orphans in the orphanage that had no one to protect them. Kids being stolen away and sold like they were slaves. Naruto grit his teeth violently. Beisho was just as guilty as they were. Worse than that, he was once a shinobi of the Hidden Leaf. The very people that he sworn to protect now suffer because he placed the Uchihas first. He would murder the village if it meant the Uchihas thrive. As Naruto's rage increased, inside of his seal, red eyes slowly opened up, feeling the anger. He chuckled at the long-awaited possible use for the seal to be weakened by his chakra. However, he realized something was wrong. Inside of the chakra network, he came upon something. He felt it, a power he had not felt since he was much younger. The sheer power of his father crashed upon the cage. The water splashed violently all around, and Kurama laughed. Finally, he said, someone that is worthy of the sage's might. Back at the docks, Beisho watched as the first ship sailed away with the slaves. The captain was taking it and the crew to sell them on the Nagi Island market. The Uchiha knew from the stories that he would take liberties from most of his slaves, and not just the girls. The second ship and all pirate crew would be heading in the opposite direction, carrying the jewels and money to a grove of islands not far away from the hidden mist. Criminals pay protection money to the water daimyo to live without being hunted by authorities. As long as they did not hurt the land of water, they were left alone. As the final crate was being loaded, a weight settled upon everyone. Bloodlust. Every pirate and worker dropped to their knees helpless. Beisho found that he had a hard time breathing. From the far left side he heard a voice that he recognized. Wind style. Devastating vacuum bullets. Beisho's Sharingan came alive as he saw the multitude of ball of air sweeping through the sky. The number of projectiles were almost 4 times what Danzo had used in their spar. Each air pocket left a visible quake in the air as they moved forward to destroy. The ship, crew, and cargo was destroyed by the attack, thrown into the harbor. The pirates on the dock were ripped apart limb from limb, their body parts splashing and hitting all over. Beisho threw himself right into the sea to take refuge. He swam to where the wood met the bank. As he smashed his fist through it, pulling himself up, hearing footsteps, he turned to see his brother walking out of the shadow. As Beisho noticed that he was wearing this shirt and shinobi jeans that Izumi used to dress him in, he had no ninja tool on him and his arms were bare for the world to see. For the first time ever, Beisho looked towards the jutsu tattoo that Naruto carved on his skin. Beisho was not a fool. He knew that Ojo was teaching Naruto, and Naruto was able to create a medical jutsu to save, he told me. However, the other arm, he had no idea about that. That was impressive, Naruto, he said, trying to act calm. May I ask what you're doing here? The time for talking has passed, brother. There was no shyness, no coward, nothing. His voice was cold, venomous as he looked towards Beisho. There is only thing that is guaranteed from this outcome. Tomorrow, Izumi will cry for one of us. The arrogant Uchiha was about to retort when he was forced to dodge a white and red kunai. As he traced it and realized that it was made from peppermint, candy, and not steel. What tricks are you pulling, Naruto? He asked, in a confident tone even though his danger senses were screaming at him. He ducked as the kunai came back, almost piercing through his skull. He watched curiously as the kunai floated right beside his brother. You never cared enough to pay attention to me, Beisho, and that will be to my advantage. What do you know of combat, brat? What advantage could you have over an elite Uchiha as me? Naruto held his left hand up in a sign of focus as large amount of cocoa came pouring out of his shirt. It pooled at his feet in powder form and started a circle all around his body. Beisho launched himself across the warehouse, running towards Naruto. However, his fist was blocked by the cocoa. He spun and kicked, but it was blocked. His roundhouse kick was blocked as well. The cocoa then formed a hand and grabbed his leg before throwing him as he smashed across the ground with tremendous force and came to a stop. The warehouse was empty for the most part as the cocoa hands grabbed giant boxes and threw them at him. Beisho had to jump away as several of them smashed down hard on the ground. From what he could see, the peppermint acted like chakra steel that was being controlled by Naruto. That is when he saw that Naruto could also channel his element through it. Beisho moved forward and leaped over the kunai as he aimed a brutal kick towards Naruto's face. However, despite Naruto not seeing him behind him, or if he did not know, the cocoa came up and blocked his kick. Growling in frustration, Beisho jumped away. He used his eyes to analyze what his brother was doing, and it was not a trick. The kid was actually using candy in the form of jutsus. This had to be Fuinjutsu related, but Beisho did not understand enough for him to make a correct guess. Your skills are impressive, Naruto. I'm guessing that Master Ojo taught you well. Naruto frowned. No, you are the first person to see my full capability. Ojo Jiji has no idea what I can truly do. As this threw Beisho for a loop. If that was true, then Naruto was almost entirely self-taught. If this was possible. Enough, the Uchiha thought. It's time to end this false of a battle. As he unleashed one of his strongest fire jutsu, Fire Style, Phoenix Flash Destroyer. A large bird of fire flew towards Naruto, setting the building ablaze. Naruto made two hand signs as a large wall of chocolate exploded out of the ground. When the fire hit the wall, the chocolate melted and smottered the fire. Another hand sign from Naruto and the boiling hot chocolate rushed towards Beisho. Impossible, he thought. Beisho leaped as he dodged burning chocolate of death. He countered my most powerful fire jutsu with this shit. Channeling chakra to his feet, he leaped straight up to the roof. He looked around trying to find Naruto, but he did not see him anywhere. He noticed a wall started to glow an ominous blue. Various bombs started to light up all over. How? He covered the whole room that quickly. Beisho thought before. Boom! The whole place exploded in a massive inferno. The shockwave went through the worker houses, destroying all of them. In the distance, Naruto stood. Knowing that his brother was not dead, he could feel the jutsu markers that he placed on Beisho. They were still attached to him. And now they were on the ground, coming towards him. Naruto slammed his hand down. Sweet release. Jagged peppermint explosion. The ground in front of Naruto erupted into peppermint spikes. Beisho barely had time to leap out. While in mid-air, he launched a shuriken as he went through hand sign. Shadow Shuriken Jutsu. His one shuriken became 100 and rained down on Naruto. As Naruto blocked with his Cocoa Cloud, as he felt his brother gather a large amount of chakra. He then sensed that there were two of him now. He guessed he made a clone as Beisho came out, the two voices going off. Fire style, Fireball Jutsu. Wind style, Great Wind Breakthrough. The combination attack turned into an inferno of hell as it rained through the area. As Naruto ripped open a wormhole and jumped right through, as he was now mid-air, courtesy of his crew that was circling up ahead. Beisho watched his technique burn away every single thing, as he took several deep breaths, trying to regain some stamina. He figured that he had to run back fast to the village in order to do some damage control. Naruto's disappearance would not go unnoticed for too long. However, his instincts kicked in as he dodged to the left, as a massive trench appeared on the ground. Looking up, he saw Naruto firing another peppermint sword that slashed through the earth, creating another trench. As Naruto catch himself with his Coco and stood on top of it. Damn it, I hate using genjutsu, but he's not giving me much choice. As Beisho made eye contact with Naruto. Genjutsu art. Sleep. Beisho watched as the jutsu took effect. However, his brother shook it off. Beisho ground his teeth in frustration as Naruto hurled 4 peppermint shuriken towards him. Beisho dodged out of the way, only to scream out in pain when the projectiles had passed him. They fire a small beam of lightning to one another. The 4 beams became one supercharged bolt and fire back to where they came. Beisho felt his back burning bad as he dropped to the ground in pain. As Naruto finished his jutsu, jumping down. As Naruto walked towards Beisho, Beisho's body poofed away. Water style, giant vortex jutsu. Naruto turned, completely caught off guard. He became trapped in the water jutsu that threw him right into the ocean. As the water jutsu kept on pushing him down as the Uchiha moved forward to push more chakra into the technique. As Naruto tried to gain his bearings to open up a wormhole, but he could not focus enough as the thing kept on pushing him down. When he blinked, as he found himself inside of a dark place. Looking around, Naruto saw in front of him a cage, as his ankles were in water. Come closer, a voice said. It was then that Naruto remembered everything that Sage told him about the fox being trapped for a long time, so he would be angry. Kurama, is that you? Who told you my name? You unworthy worm, the fox said, anger in his tone. Naruto's eyes widened as he saw the thing for the first time. It was massive. Hello Kurama, he said, stuttering a bit. I'm Naruto. It's nice to finally meet you. Stop your insolent stuttering, Kurama said with a growl. The fox studied him closely. Judging by what he felt and the knowledge that the boy had about his real name, he had probably met Hagoromo. The fox sighed as he looked at him. Look, we don't have time for this. If you do not pull on my chakra, we're both dead. As Naruto remembered the predicament that was outside his head, as he looked towards Kurama. How do I pull? Just focus. And try channeling energy like usual. Kurama said, cutting Naruto off. As Naruto did as the fox said, red energy started to come from underneath the bars, as it circled him, as it rushed into his body. Suddenly he was back in the ocean as the current tried to push him down. His feet touched the bottom. As Naruto's eyes focused, unmoving for a second before, the ocean floor cracked. As Naruto blasted outwards, he burst from the surface water, splashing everywhere, as he was like a rocket. Beisho watched as Naruto was covered in red chakra. Of all the times his stupid brother should discover the fox power, it had to be now. As Naruto landed on the bank, finally ready to continue. This is getting old, Naruto. Just give up already. Naruto did not retort, he just gathered his chakra and released his Cocoa Cloud towards his brother. Beisho dodged the attacks that were meant to crush him, and Peppermint that came out ready to spike him. They were faster than before. Knowing that he could not keep this dodging game up forever, he rushed forward, trying to engage Naruto in taijutsu. He was vicious as he realized he was making headway. Several times the Cocoa Cloud just barely managed to block his attack. It's only a matter of time before he broke through, as Naruto was trying to think of a way to end it. Never did he thought that he would be so desperate to kill his evil older brother. He had one jutsu that he knew could kill with one blow, and with the wormhole jutsu, the hit was almost a guaranteed. The problem was he could not rely on an almost guarantee to win. He had to find some way to keep Beisho from moving and preoccupied. As Naruto vanished through his wormhole, after using his Cocoa Cloud to block Beisho's sight, he reappeared 20 yards away as he started to rapidly go through hand signs before he stopped on Dragon. Beisho was trying to locate his brother when peppermint spikes erupted all around him in a 20-meter yard diameter. Each gave a crackle before a bolt of lightning shot out from them as they went over Beisho's head as they connected together. As Beisho read the technique with his Sharingan, he knew there was no way to dodge a jutsu. A substitution would be disrupted before it could connect with anything outside the circle. A blinding flash followed as a crackle of lightning, all that power that converged in mid-air came down and destroyed everything in a colossal blast. Naruto stood where he was as he looked on in anticipation, waiting to see what remained of his brother. That is when Naruto saw something. It was large, a ribcage. It was translucent and grey. Standing inside of said ribcage was Beisho as he was keeled over, panting, his eyes were bleeding. Beisho laughed at the shocked look on Naruto's face. What? Did you think you could kill an elite Uchiha like me that easily? Behold, the greatest jutsu of the Sharingan. The Susanoo, he said. Naruto. As Naruto heard the voice in his head, Kurama, is that you? Yes, it's me. We've established a mental link because we met. I think I can help you fight. How? Said Naruto as he looked towards the massive bone ribcage in front of him. As arms started to form, a skeleton arm, Naruto brought his Cocoa Cloud up and blocked the blow. He started to panic as the thing arm was breaching his defense. It was strong. Focus on the seal and pull more of my chakra. Then I want you to focus that chakra to the sensor seal on the back of your neck. If I'm correct, this will allow me to channel my very will into the cocoa powder defense that you've created. As Naruto immediately did as the fox told him, as he felt the chakra running into him before he channeled it towards his neck. The seal started to heat up a bit as it spread right into the Cocoa Cloud defense. An ominous aura filled the air as the cocoa took on a more darker shade. Beisho watched as it started to take shape into a fox. Damn, this is bad, Beisho thought. He had wasted too much chakra, thinking that he could end the fight quickly. And now he was running on fumes, and he had yet to land any real blows on Naruto. Beisho concentrated hard as he produced another skeleton hand and a head. He brought his hand together in a clapping motion as the skeleton repeated the action. However, the cocoa created arms and blocked it. Right in the center, held out its arms and stopped the two massive hands from crushing it. Naruto then created a giant peppermint kunai. As he fired it, it slammed right into the chest of the Susanoo, blowing it back. Beisho raged at that. Is that all you got, little brother? He screamed out as he was panting heavily. The fox mouth opened up and burned out a beam of red chakra that fired at immense speed. Beisho quickly brought the arms of the Susanoo up, blocking the attack as Naruto stood there, analyzing his brother's eyes. They had taken on a new shape. A Sharingan no looked like the letter T, and all the ends had curved around, like a point. However, Naruto could see exactly what was happening. Beisho was like a child picking up a giant sword, and struggling to fight with it. He was tiring quickly. This was something that he could not keep up with. This power was taking everything he had to maintain, but Beisho refused to let it go. His arrogance was going to be the death of him. Beisho's eyesight started to fail him as he saw Naruto blurring through hand sign. As he missed quite a few, seeing that his eyesight was starting to dim. The massive surge of chocolate powder at Naruto's feet started to rise up in several different places, creating 20 dragon heads. They open their mouths, half of them charge wind, the other half lightning. Wind style, vacuum bullet, lightning release, destructive spear. Beisho put in everything to repel the attack. The bright flash and the explosion all kept him occupied. But something strange happened. In front of him he could easily feel the fox demon and his brother's power, but behind him, he felt it as well. He quickly spun as he saw there was a rift. Like space and time itself had ripped open as Naruto came out of it. Naruto was already inside of his guard inside. The Susanoo, Dark Magic Jutsu. Plague Rasengan, said Naruto as he extended his hand. Time skip. Hokage's office, morning. Sir Toby read the file that Tsunade just handed him. After 2 weeks of investigation, the Anvus hadn't found out anything regarding Uchiha Beisho assassination. After his most elite had failed to uncover any information, he contacted both Jiraiya and Tsunade and had them both look into the issue. As he looked towards it, a dark medical jutsu. Are you sure about this, Tsunade? She folded her arms. Yes, I'm sure, she said. A medical jutsu designed purely to kill. There's no life-saving applications, no cure. This also cleared the Konoha Medical Corps. Why is that? Sir Toby asks. Because no self-respecting medical ninja would ever create a technique like that. This jutsu caused massive cellular death throughout the body. Beisho muscles and bones deteriorated at an alarming rate, almost like rapid decay. Also, judging by brainwave activity at the moment of death, I'm sure that he was alive for a few seconds and felt everything after the hit. His internal organs were almost completely liquefied. Something I did find odd was a chakra burn on Beisho's chest. It was like a dense mass of chakra was slammed into his chest hard, but there was no usual damage that was left behind from an attack like that. I'm almost certain that the burn was caused by the killing blow, but I'm having a hard time seeing any medical jutsu, even one designed for killing only, that needs that amount of chakra. Jiraiya was thinking about the burn as well. It looked oddly familiar, but he could not place it. He almost thought it could be a Rasengan burn, but he dismissed the thought at once. There was only 2 people alive that knew the technique, and that was himself and Kakashi Hatake. What have you been able to uncover? Hiruzen said, looking towards Jiraiya. Jiraiya shrugged his shoulders. Not much, I'm afraid. The pirate crew had a deal with the water daimyo for a safe harbor. Going by the accounts of the rescued kidnapped members, I'm convinced that the person that killed Beisho also saved them. I am also certain that other Uchihas were involved. Sir Toby took a puff on his pipe as he thought about what he knew so far. The 2 sisters reported that someone was able to pull them from the water and dump them at the village gates in a matter of seconds, or so they believe. Another possibility was a sort of genjutsu that the rescuer used to hide their identity. Regardless, it was their story that got the Anvu to investigate Smoke Harbor. Upon arriving, they found the remains of the corrupt Uchiha and the workers. Not much longer, a report came in from a village down south about a rescued pirate ship. Several people gave reports about being abducted and sold into slavery. After sailing away, the captain had all of them locked away in the cargo hold. Someone snuck on board and murdered all the captain men and the captain himself before leaving. Luckily, some of them knew how to sail and got the boat to safety. It was after several people explained that the 2 girls were drowned, and the Anvus realized that they were the ones that were left at the village gate. They realized it was all connected. The Uchihas themselves launched an investigation They've concluded that Beisho was working alone. Hiruzen said, "Do you have anything that contradicts their investigation?" Jiraiya scratched his cheek. "Nothing concrete. But are you familiar with Uchiha? Kane Moto. He controls most of the Uchiha foreign business, interests, and banking. Lately there has been rumors that he and two other Uchihas are involved in shady dealings. Kane Moto has a mother-in-law that lives in Land of Rice that recently received a large sum of money for a small piece of property that is worthless. The buyer is a banker that lives on Nagi Island." "I see," Hiruzen said. "You think the pirates were simply in charge of delivering, and Beisho was supervising. The real buyer for the merchandise is a banker on Nagi." Sarutobi closed his eyes deep in thought as Ned and Jiraiya waited for him to speak. Finally, he opened his eyes and looked towards them. "There are things that we need to discuss regarding the Uchiha clan and Konoha. Neither of you are going to like what I have to say. The elders and Danzo didn't want the two of you involved because they believe you, Jiraiya, are more effective to keep tabs on enemies outside of Konoha. And you, Sneddy, are in too delicate of a state to voice a decent solution. But the truth is, I should have brought the both of you in sooner than this." Meanwhile, at the park, Izumi sat on the park bench. Beside her was the police report from the Uchihas. She had read it at least 3 times now, and she couldn't believe it. However, what was on her mind was, how could Beisho be so cruel to innocent people? In the distance, her little brother was playing on the slide with Choji and Shikamaru. Shikamaru was half asleep next to the slide, as his mother had kicked him out of the house for him to go and play, as Choji was sliding down with Naruto. Hearing someone approach, she turned to see Itachi. She has not seen a lot of him since he joined Anvu and the death of Shisui. "He seems to be in good spirits," Itachi commented, watching Naruto play with his friends. Izumi said nothing though as she turned back to Naruto, her mind still on the file. Itachi looked towards her sadly, as he did not know how to comfort her, as he sat next to her and continued to watch the kids. "Has there been any development in the investigation from the Anvu side?" "So far, our clan has found nothing," Izumi asked quietly. "Nothing so far. Lord Jiraiya believed that the real criminal mastermind behind the slave shipment lived on Nagi Island. An Anvu team that specialized in live extraction was sent out to find the culprit and bring them back to Konoha. Luckily, the village has a special standing tradition with the Nagi Islands." As Izumi looked down towards the ground, "Does the Uchiha clan has anything to fear from what this person might say?" Itachi gave no comment, which confirmed Izumi's suspicions that Beisho was working for the clan. While he was doing all of this, as she asked, "Who put my brother up to this?" Itachi sighed. He was under orders from both the Uchiha and the Hokage to not tell her anything. The Hokage want to save her and Naruto some pain, and the Uchihas want this to blow over as quickly and quietly. As much as he wanted to confide in his last remaining Uchiha friend, he couldn't do so without violating orders. Itachi did not answer as Izumi spoke. Uchiha Beito requested leave for himself and his 2 sons. 2 Uchiha Jonins and 1 high-level Chunin are on a hunting trip. I guess the Uchihas are cleaning up loose ends. She knew what they were doing. They were getting rid of the ones that were involved, so nothing could link back to them. However, Itachi simply remained silent. She lashed out and grabbed the front of his shirt. She kept her voice down though. "Damn it. Talk to me," she said. "What do you want me to say? What could possibly make you feel better about losing your older brother?" Itachi asked, sadly. She reached down as she grabbed the police file. She pulled out the pre-autopsy photo of Beisho as she handed it over to Itachi. Itachi already seen it already though. As he tried to give it back, "You should not be looking at this. Who gave you the file anyway?" "Your father gave it to me when I asked for it. Being a direct family member, he had no right to refuse me," Izumi said, shoving the picture back to him. "Take a closer look at the burn on Beisho's chest." Itachi looked towards a spiral-like burn mark. "What am I looking at?" he said. "Not long ago, me and Naruto had dinner with Lady Namikaze and her daughter Sakura. During the meal, Sakura explained all excitedly about some taijutsu training that she had received from Kakashi Hatake. She even went on to explain how Kakashi had showed them the Rasengan." Itachi was confused, not knowing where this was going. What not many people know is Naruto is actually good at manipulating and controlling chakra in large amounts. He was able to copy the tree and water walking exercise by just seeing how they work. Knowing this, I asked him about the Rasengan when we got home and we were alone. He was hesitant at first, but he finally confided in me that he knew the technique. He had learned it. He then demonstrated the jutsu right there in our living room. Itachi was shocked as he heard that. He knew from what his father had said to him. The fourth technique was not affiliated by any bloodline. The Sharingan could not copy it. How had Naruto managed the impossible feat with only seen one demonstration? Do you remember the story about my brother saving Lady Hyuga with a medical jutsu? Itachi nodded his head. The jutsu he and Master Ojo invented. No, Izumi said. Naruto invented that all on his own. Somehow, he was able to learn a lot about Fuinjutsu, passing everyone's expectations in a short amount of time, and create a technique no one has ever seen before. My little brother knows both medical ninjutsu and the Rasengan. Itachi turned his gaze towards Naruto going down the slide. Even if that is true, there was no way that he could have traced Beisho all the way to the harbor, fight him, defeat him, then sneak back to Konoha without the envoys detecting him. Also, the only way Naruto would have hit him with the Rasengan is up close. Your older brother is no pushover. Izumi leaned back as she glanced up to the sky. The report said that Beisho fought a ninja that was skilled in lightning and wind attacks. There was also an element, an unknown one, that might have been an earth technique. I am not so sure about lightning or earth, but I know that Naruto has trained in wind release. Also, the 3 days after Beisho died, he was not grieving. He just told everyone that he was. Instead, he had a high fever and body shakes. I think it was a side effect of using the fox chakra. Itachi's face was blank as he overheard that. As he thought about the issue, the fox chakra aside, how could Naruto be strong enough to kill his older brother? Had he unleashed the full force of the Kyuubi, the village would have noticed even this far in the coast. As Itachi talked out loud to himself, I wonder if it's Sasuke's heart that made him so strong. Izumi looked towards him as she realized what he said. You really think Naruto is strong because he has Sasuke's heart? That's so big of you, she said. I know it sounds ridiculous, but hear me out. Sasuke mastered the fireball jutsu within a day to a degree that surpassed me and my father. Not only that, but after a week of working, he only needed the one sign and focus to use it. I've literally been forcing him to cut back on training because I want him to enjoy his childhood. I want him to have that time of innocence and wonder that I lost at the age of 4. My uncle showed Sasuke the Earth Style Stone Barrier Jutsu a month ago, and it only took him a day and a half to use it. I worry that if the wrong people discover his skill, they will force him to abandon his childhood too early. Izumi felt sorry for Itachi because she worried about Naruto in the same manner as well. If people discover his Fuinjutsu skills, they would try to make him a shinobi now instead of attending the academy. You really think your heart swap has something to do with your unnatural skill? It's the only thing that makes sense. Remember, right after Naruto got out of the hospital, he almost killed that bully with one punch. It wasn't long after that father showed Sasuke the fireball jutsu. There's evidence of something similar in our own clan actually. Tell me, have you ever heard of the Mangekyo Sharingan? She shook her head no, as Itachi explained the darker side of the Uchiha ocular power. She felt squeezed to hear that they had to kill their own friends to gain the ability. She was further sickened that Uchiha Madara stole his own brother's eyes to gain the eternal Mangekyo. Did Beisho have the ability? Itachi nodded his head as Izumi started to silently cry. So he had fallen that far. He killed someone close to himself for power. More than likely he would have done the same to me to gain the final evolution. I didn't know him at all, did I? There's nothing that suggests that he knew about the Eternal, or that he was gonna use you to get it, Itachi said, trying to comfort his friend. Izumi did not believe him though, but she let it go. Beisho was dead, and Naruto needed her now. What you suggest about the heart swap has some ground to stand on. However, to gain the final form of the Sharingan you have to take your sibling eyes. That means there must be a strong genetic connection between the donor and recipient. Naruto and Sasuke do not have that connection. There must be something that we're not seeing. Maybe something to do with the fox, Itachi said, thinking to himself, as he gave Izumi a questioning look. Do you hate Naruto for killing Beisho? He asked. Izumi looked towards her younger brother, swinging on the monkey bars. No, I'm mad. That he had to be the one to kill Beisho. Had I been present, I would have killed him instead. Naruto shouldn't have to go through that. I feel as a big sister because I feel to keep him safe. That is why I need to know what you know, she said. I believe that Naruto followed Beisho that night because he know what is going on. That means he possibly know what is going on with the clan, what is really going on, and who sent their older brother on that mission. If Naruto start to go after Uchiha clan members, there will be retaliation. If the clan think it's someone working for Lord Hokage, it would be worse. I have heard people say that they believe the Anbu killed my brother and Shisui. If the Uchiha believe that the village is targeting the stronger members of the clan, it will lead to fighting. She doesn't know how close she is to the truth. Itachi thought to himself, let me speak with the Hokage about bringing you in on the secrets. I cannot do anything yet without violating orders. I don't know if I can trust the Hokage, but I trust you, Itachi-kan, she said. Neither Uchiha said anything else, as the both of them held hands and watched the children play, before Itachi was called away by a signal from the Hokage. Time skip. Afternoon. Hokage's office. Jiraiya stood in the corner of the office, eyes closed, arms crossed. Anger boiled through him at what he had heard, what Hiruzen relieved to both him and Tsunade. Anger, as he couldn't believe that Sarutobi Hiruzen, the once god of shinobi, had become nothing more than an old, stupid man. How could he possibly let things get this far? I doubt they helped the situation any. Jiraiya thought as he looked across the room. There stood the elders and Danzo, who just recently arrived. Danzo did not seem that happy that the two Sanins had been brought in on the secret, but he did not say anything about it. All 6 people were waiting for Itachi and Kakashi. According to Sarutobi, Kakashi had been ordered to give Smoke Harbor one more look. He had been out of the village the last few days on a mission. Hiruzen had sent him word to pass through the arbor upon his return. He fired his pipe up as there was a knock. Without invitation, both Itachi and Kakashi came in. The Uchiha did not look surprised to see everyone, and was glad they were letting others on the problem. Kakashi, Itachi, please come in and shut the door. This meeting will be considered top secret, unless I say otherwise. Kakashi, before you give a report, there are things that you need to know. What followed next was an explanation on the Uchiha rebellion, and the steps that they have taken so far to stop bloodshed. Throughout the explanation, Kakashi did not say anything until it was over. Kakashi sighed in an exasperated way. Well, this is a fine mess. As Hiruzen pulled on his pipe, as he asked Itachi, do you have anything new to report? There was a look of hesitation in Itachi's eyes. Before he spoke, the Uchihas believed that Beisho was killed by Anbus because he was becoming too powerful. Several believe that Shisui was killed for the same reason. However, some Uchihas believe he killed himself and others think, I killed him to gain power. What do you mean? Said Kakashi, confused. Itachi then violated the secrets of the Uchiha clan, as he explained about the Mangekyo Sharingan. He also explained how Beisho possibly possessed it. Kakashi scratched the back of his head as he asked, do we know how Shisui died? From all reports, it would seem like suicide was indeed the cause. The strain of being between the Uchihas and Konoha drive him to it. Danzo spoke up. Itachi remained quiet though, since revealing the truth at this point would not help the situation. As Koharu spoke up on Beisho possible assassin, do we have anything new? Other than confirming that the killing blow was a dark medical jutsu, no, said Tsunade. I was able to make several contacts between spies in Land of Water and Nagi Islands. It's believed that the frontman posing as a banker was the buyer of the slave shipment. We believe they hired the Uchiha for security, who then hired the pirates for delivery. Sarutobi has already dispatched an Anfu to get the frontman, hoping that he can tell us who he made the negotiation with. Sarutobi was about to ask Kakashi if he had anything to report, but he saw once again the hesitation in Itachi's eyes. Itachi, do you have anything new to report? He said. The young Uchiha glanced up towards the Hokage, hesitation once again in his eyes. May I speak with you alone for a moment, sir? Everyone was silent as Hiruzen digested the request. After a moment he spoke. I'm sorry, Itachi, but no. If we are to solve this problem without bloodshed, then everyone here needs to know the facts. Itachi waited for a moment to see if Sarutobi would change his mind. He then sighed. I believe that Naruto Uzumaki killed Beisho Uchiha, based on the information that was given to me by Izumi Uchiha. Everyone was shocked to hear that, as Homura spoke up. That's impossible. How could he have done so? The boy is just shy of 8, with no real combat training. How could he kill an Uchiha Jonin? How? Kakashi, Itachi said, you demonstrated the Rasengan to Uzumaki-san and Namikaze Sakura one evening during a sparring lesson, correct? Kakashi confirmed it. That one demonstration was all it took for him to learn the fourth jutsu and duplicate it. Izumi confirmed that much when he was able to perform it in their living room. What? Kakashi was shocked hearing that. I see, said Jiraiya. I had the first thought when I saw Beisho's corpse. The chakra burn on his chest looked like they were caused by the Rasengan. I dismissed the thought though, because the only two people that can do the Rasengan is me and you, he said, looking towards Kakashi. Snappy eyes widened. The medical ninjutsu he used, the one he created to save, he told me Hyuga. If he was able to combine those techniques together, Snappy said, looking towards Itachi, who nodded. Would a medical based Rasengan be able to cause the damage that was done to Beisho? Asked Itachi. Snappy thought about all she knew about the Rasengan. Even if the boy has a technique like that, Danzo spoke up. How could he have used it on Uchiha Beisho? Danzo wanted to know everything. Jiraiya looked towards Hiruzen as he had an idea. Hiruzen gave him the go-ahead to talk. After the heart transplant that involved Naruto and Sasuke, I examined or looked at Uzumaki to discover that Minato mastered a tag on the person that held back the Kyuubi was replaced by someone. After the hospital turned over some drawings that was done by the young boy, I discovered that Naruto himself had placed his own master tag on the cage door. What? That's insane, Kaharu said. The level of knowledge to do something like that is years above him. No, it's not, Hiruzen said. He appeared to have some unnatural ability. Regarding his ability to learn Fuinjutsu, we have yet to determine what it is, but it's definitely related to a Uzumaki specialty. It was more than just the master tag that we discovered, said Jiraiya. We also discovered that Naruto was trying to create a space-time ninjutsu, one that was based off the fourth Hokage design. It was Uchiha Ojo that showed him Minato, teleportation marker that started him on the path of teleportation. So, not only does he possess the Rasengan but also the Flying Thunder God Jutsu? Said Kakashi. No, Naruto could never control his chakra enough to mimic the fourth Hokage's technique. He was in the process of creating a new one that did not require special chakra control, said Jiraiya. As everyone was stunned hearing that, as Hiruzen leaned back in his chair, trying to digest this information. This was not what none of them expected. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want the next person, do like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that bell notifications, they post, stay by my phone, see you guys soon. Peace.